Mira que él mentía. El enemigo.
You cannot solve the problem. I mean, you have a plan for a plan, if you see what I mean.
Sure. Within the first 100 days, but like the actual meat,
Well, of course, I mean, if that were to happen, that would be a serious blow for international climate diplomacy. And yet, at the same time, the problem will not go away. We will still need to continue, actually double down on climate diplomacy in such a situation. The reality is that the climate crisis, unfortunately, will continue. That we will see more adverse weather events in Europe, but frankly speaking, all across the world.
about Elon Musk, and I wanted to ask if the Commission is in touch with
That whether we like it or not, this truly is a problem that the world needs to solve together. For me, it is much more important that we land it.
Yeah.
There's no alternative to make sure that in the end everyone chips in, because climate change is indiscriminate. It doesn't matter where CO2 is being pumped into the air. It affects humanity at large. It affects the whole planet. Is really focus the conversation on the prerequisites. Well, the US clearly is the largest economy. It is still the most important geopolitical force on the planet. It has been a huge champion in the last 70, 80 years for international cooperation. And it's a slogan that is not being used that often anymore, but it continues to be the leader of the free world. It is, in my view, truly a force for good. So making sure that our American friends, as much as is possible, are actually staying on board and are working on this together with us, is clearly something I will strive for. If we don't do it well, in 10 years, they knock it off the table again because they say this is unachievable. Look, I think there is significant appreciation of the international leadership role we play in the domain of climate. And yes, I mean, it would have been ideal to have that number already right away. But our institutional cycle simply is slightly at odds with the international cycle that asks for a number by February. The heart of the matter here is, the important thing here is to make sure we have an ambitious number before we walk into Belém, before we have the next COP. And I can promise you that we will have.
नहीं ग्रुप के बच्चे
Agora que tá com mais sal.